morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the Bronx Queens Bros podcast, better known as the BQB podcast. I'm Big B. Wait, Alex Rodriguez pops it up. Luis Castillo going back. He dropped the ball. Teixeira scores. Jeter scores. And the Yankees win. Oh, if you guys don't know what today is, it is June 12th. And in this day, in 2009, Luis Castillo decides to play like a little leaguer and literally loses the game for the Mets. Just had to share that day. Listen, I'm a Mets fan, and it's painful to say, but we are a Mets and Yankees podcast. And we know what we're about to talk about. Big Subway Series coming up. But I'm Big V. We got Big D. We also got Jack B. Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, Jack B and I are here too, so that's exciting. Hey V, when you came to us and said, "Hey guys, do you want to do a podcast for this season?" Did you think you were going to be miserable doing it every single episode, or did you think it was going to be okay? Yeah. So I wish the Mets would perform a little bit better, simply so that you could enjoy hanging out with me and Jack B a little bit more. But I'm ready to get into this. Jack, how you doing today?
Guys, I'm stoked. V, you just recapped one of my favorite plays in baseball history. And what you forgot to mention is Luis Castillo throws the ball to second base for some reason. If he throws the ball home, they probably go into extra innings, and who knows what would have happened. But he threw the ball to second base for whatever reason. Compound mistake. But I'm super excited to get into these games coming up tomorrow, fellas. And then we're going to recap some series where both the Yankees and the Mets did not fare too well. More sad news for the Mets. And the Yankees cannot score without Aaron Judge in the lineup. But first, a message from our great sponsor. V, take it away.
This episode is sponsored by one of the best kept secrets in northern New Jersey, Engineering and Design Concepts. Small company doing big things. They specialize in product development, manufacturing, and test equipment. If you or anyone you know need assistance in that field, they are the company you need to contact. The link to their website will be in the description below. Now, Jack, quickly, I hate Luis Castillo for so many reasons. I don't know why. I never liked him. I hated that he was a Met. And that play just makes me have a good excuse as to why I hated him. I know he's your favorite Met of all time. But
One of them, definitely.
But, you know who's also sucking up every air of my body right now? The Mets in general. Mets are just playing horrendously. They're not even playing good defense anymore. So let's just quickly break this crap down here. So the Mets Friday night, Pittsburgh off at that point was it a 7-game losing streak or something like that.
6, I think.
Oh, it was 6. Oh, they're about to lose.
Actually, V, we never even talked about the game in Atlanta.
Oh, we gotta bring that back. Oh God, Jack, you were next to me as we're watching the game. What did I say? They're gonna blow it.
I just have a feeling. There's something telling me, Jack, this lead is not safe.
It's a gut. It's the Braves were inevitable to just take it. My gut was telling me this team is just not primed to win, and they lost 13-10 or something. The offense finally scored. Big time. Tommy Pham is just crushing the ball left and right. But they don't win the game. They have Tommy Hunter pitching in the 10th, who just got DFA'd. Tommy, love you, but have a great day. Hope you retire. So, I'm at a loss of words. Smith sucked. Robertson blew the lead. I don't know what Robertson's throwing him a fastball for in that spot. That's a bad call. It's a very bad call.
I mean, Arcia could have got punched out a couple times in that at bat.
Yeah.
So a little bit unfortunate break there, but yeah, then.
I get it. You don't want to walk him with Acuna on deck, but still, I don't know, man. That's tough for me. I would never throw a fastball up. Maybe I don't remember if that's the spot he wanted it, but I would have never thrown that. It's a good swing on Arcia's end, and Tommy Hunter almost pitched well, and then just threw a cutter down the pipe. Like, what do you think was going to happen? Yeah, that was an ugly series. Braves are just showing that they're the better team. Mets even threw Scherzer and Verlander at them. Verlander struggled again. We need him to pitch better. Scherzer started off good, ended bad. Yeah, I don't know. But let's go to Pittsburgh because we have a win in this series at least somewhere in here. So Friday night, I believe it was a tie game at the time. 1 out in the fourth. Chopper to short. Lindor just boots it, trying to turn a double play. And then it opened the floodgates for like an 8-run inning. Like Tyler McGill should have been in the dugout. That was more of, I think that was a situation for him where he's like, oh, I got the double play, I'm done. No, I don't. Kind of get reset, and I was like, he just never did. You wish he could pick up his fielder at least once, but it didn't happen. Yeah, it's a big play. Lindor just really, it's shocking to see him make a defensive error. No, he's not having a great year offensively overall, but yeah, it was a tough play. McNeil made a big error on the Saturday game. They ended up winning, but these errors are just plays you got to make. They're not like, I don't even know what to say here. But they lost Friday night. They 14-7, which was fun. That sucked. Tommy Hunter, once again, decided to throw some batting practice to the Pittsburgh Pirates team. Senga on Saturday, pitching like an ace. 7 innings, 1 unearned run on that error. He is leading the team in innings pitched, and he's pitched once a week pretty much. That's just sad. And as a guy, first time pitching in America, not that I'm not impressed, and I'm so thankful he's in this rotation. He's kind of the only stability we got right now. But he shouldn't be the guy. He shouldn't be. We have 2 guys we're paying to be the guy, and none of them are that guy yet. So Mets ended up scoring some runs there. Alvarez had another home run. This guy is something special. He had 3 home runs in the series against Atlanta too. He's really, really good. Batting in a 2-hole consistently right now, Jack. So that's good to see. Yeah, still not starting Mark Vientos. Buck pinched hit for Mark Vientos in the Sunday game in the 8th inning, down by a run with Luis Guillorme.
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know what you think you're getting out of Guillorme. He's not hitting a home run for you. Like, he's not. Like, he may get lucky to get run. He's been in the big leagues for 5 years. He's hitting 4 career home runs. He does what he does well. He's a good glove. He's never going to hit you a pinch hit home run when Mark Vientos has all the power in the world to... And he's in the game. Like, he was in the game the whole time. And the 8th inning down by a run to lead off an inning. And then Guillorme strikes out on a pitch clock violation. He's not even fucking ready. I don't even understand. Like, anything the Mets do, they're looking like moronic idiots right now. It's so hard to watch. Like, I just can't fathom this. Carrasco didn't pitch too bad on Sunday. 2 runs, 4 2/3. Buck,
well.
Yeah, Buck made the right call by bringing Josh Walker in, made his 2nd ever big league appearance, and he struck out 4 guys for all 4 outs. He looked really good, actually, which was very, I'm like, oh my God, that's a good call on Buck. I actually thought they should just let Carrasco go there, but it was a good call. But the Mets offense scored 1 run. I know Mitch Keller's very, very good, having a fantastic year. His sweeper is disgusting. That thing sweeps through the entire plate. But you got to get some runs. The 9th inning was tough. Lindor got called on a strike 3 in the 9th. It was definitely a ball, in my opinion. Tommy Pham proceeds to hit a double in the gap because right after that, so it's like that would have tied the game. But, whatever, he should protect the plate, I guess, but it was definitely a ball on a 3-2 pitch, so he would have walked. Mets lose the series to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, Pittsburgh Pirates are a young, fun team. Got some nice pieces, but the Mets are really rolling down the hill right now, and it's tough to watch, and you got to hope and pray that they catch some... Today's an off day. You got to hope to catch some fire tomorrow.
Yeah, so, the Yanks, not nearly as exciting as the Mets, unfortunately. They have gotten some good starting pitching over this 3-game series with Boston, but the bats just did not come to play, and that was evident in Game 1 of the series where we lost to Boston 3-2. Garrett Cole's first loss of the season. He, of course, gives up the long ball to Rafael Devers, which you could almost pencil in every time Garrett Cole faces the Red Sox. He seems to give up a home run to Rafael Devers, so unfortunate there. And then Anthony Volpe up with a chance to win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning against Kenley Jansen. Gets a fastball. I thought it was gone. It hooked foul. And baseball, like most sports, game of inches. Game of inches, guys. They end up winning the second game of the series 3-1, thanks to a nice outing from Domingo Germán. So nice to see there. And then on Sunday Night Baseball, they end up losing 3-2. Clark Schmidt pitched pretty well, I would say. Glaber, I don't know if you guys saw in the 8th inning, it was a single, I believe, from, I think it was Kiki Hernandez, and they threw the ball in. It was a one hop. Billy McKinney threw it in, who we're now playing, for whatever reason. One hop right to Glaber, and Glaber missed the ball. Kike went to second base, ended up scoring, and he doesn't score if he doesn't move to second. So that was pretty much the difference of the game that tied the game, forced the game to go into extra innings, and then they end up losing. So, yeah, just tough, man. And it seems to be evident now with no Aaron Judge in the lineup. The Yankees are just not even close to the same team. And I do have some stats. So, the Yankees are now 8-10, averaging just 3.3 runs per game without Aaron Judge in the lineup this season. That would be dead last in the MLB, 3.3 runs per game. Dead last. Worse than the A's, worse than the Tigers. Absolutely terrible. Worse than the White Sox. And in 10 of those 18 games without Aaron Judge, the Yankees have scored fewer than 3 runs. Fewer than 3 runs. That is just astonishing. Very interesting last night. Stanton got a day off of DHing and did not hit for Trevino in the bottom of the 10th. Didn't come up to pinch hit at all. I don't understand why, we have off today. Why are we letting Stanton get a day off of? It's not like he's playing the field. He's swinging the bat. I cannot really fathom that. Another really interesting stat is the lowest on base percentages in baseball. The Yankees are 28th. 28th. Only the Tigers and Royals have worse on base percentages than the Yankees. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and another issue we have is Anthony Volpe is probably the worst qualified hitter in baseball right now. And, yeah, it seems like there seems to be a predicament because I don't want to say they kind of, there's all these storylines, how he's going to be the next shortstop and that he's been kind of hyped. And I guess they're kind of marketed around him in a way. And now Oswald Peraza is tearing up the minor leagues. I don't know if you've noticed, V. He's hitting 320. He's on pace. His 150-game pace is like 54 home runs in AAA. He's doing what Vientos was doing right now.
Yeah.
And, we know AAA is not the MLB, but to be fair to Anthony Volpe, he never was in AAA. He went from AA to spring training to the MLB. So, I really wonder if they exercise an option, send him down, bring up Peraza, maybe just get his head straight. But yeah, that's really all I got. Dave, you have anything to add?
A couple quick things. One, Gleyber Torres, that play last night, Sunday Night Baseball, didn't even try. Just let it go right past him. And I don't know, it just seems like his defense is tough to watch, and it's almost like a lack of effort, which is the most frustrating part. I don't know how great his job security is on the Yankees, and I don't know if he knows how great it is, so I would definitely be playing my heart out every single play. And you're just constantly seeing him not do that, so it's a little concerning to me. Jack, the one question I wrote down to ask you is about Anthony Volpe, and I'm going to kind of force you to give me and the listeners an answer. Do you think they brought him up prematurely?
No, I don't. I think what they did was the right decision. You definitely could not trot IKF back out there at shortstop. Definitely not. Now, if you look at spring training, Volpe tore it up, and Peraza couldn't hit at all. And I think that was kind of the battle right there in spring training. You were never going to put Gleyber back at short. You were never really, LeMahieu, he's not going to play shortstop. There was really no other option besides acquiring someone maybe, but, I could tell Yankee fans are not happy right now. They're not happy because Luis Castillo is pitching really well for Seattle. They wanted Volpe in the trade. We said no. We kind of did this whole thing about Volpe and how he's going to be, it's not really the Yankees' fault, but everyone just makes comparisons to Jeter. He's a New Jersey kid, all the similarities. And then we have this guy in the minors that's tearing it up now. And, it's really not a hyperbole to say Volpe's the worst hitter in baseball that's qualified. He is the worst hitter. He's hitting like 184. He's getting on base at like a 260 clip. He's just not going to cut it. So I don't think they brought him up prematurely, Dave. I think they their hand was forced. And, I think it's kind of a deeper-rooted issue where they did not want to spend money on a shortstop when they could have 2 different times because they were very, I don't know. I don't want to say they were being cheap because they do have the second highest payroll in baseball. But I think Cashman, like I've said previously, he gets very stubborn and he identifies these prospects. He thinks that they're going to do really well. And, with Aaron Judge, he hit. But with, as we've seen with others like Gary Sanchez and Jesus Montero and all the other top prospects the Yankees have had, it hasn't worked out. So we'll see. I still am high on Volpe. I think he'll be all right. He's young. He's 22 years old, I think. So, he never played AAA. I think you just sent him down. He'll be good.
Real quick, before we get into our segments, let's talk about disappointing New York shortstops as a whole now. I want to ask you guys a question, and I want to hear your answers. All right, here's the question. Who should be more disappointed, keyword disappointed, in the performance of their starting shortstop? Mets fans or Yankees fans? So let's factor in expectations. Let's factor in contracts. Let's factor it all in. Who should be more disappointed at this point in time?
Jack, you want to go first?
Yeah, it's going to be Francisco Lindor. The Mets fans, I think it's the obvious answer here. You're paying a guy $300 million. You expect him to be better. You expect him to be a franchise-altering player. And where he was really good last year, and V would argue years prior, this year he has not lived up to it. Especially when the Mets need him, right? They need him to be that staple in the middle of the order. They're struggling. Their pitching has been struggling. They need that leader, that shortstop that's just going to say, you know what, guys, I'll get the big hit. I'll drive in some runs, which he has, but, he's a below-average hitter. It's got to be Lindor making over $300 million.
Sadly, have to agree. You look at Volpe, he's a rookie. A lot of pressure on him, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to tear the world apart. And he's on a minor contract. Lindor's getting paid to be a top player in the league, borderline MVP candidate, which he was last year. And this year he's not. And he's underperforming in a lot of aspects. And listen, he's hitting his home runs. He's driving in his runs. He's overall usually playing very, very good defense. But he's not carrying this team. Now, I don't think Lindor is ever that type of player to carry a team. But we would have loved to see him step up more. Especially, the big test is going to be the next 3 weeks with Alonso out. Is which player is stepping up. Right now, it looks like Alvarez is that guy. And it's fantastic. But he's a 21-year-old. You'd hate to put so much pressure on him as well. You'd hope Lindor or, Nimmo and Marte. These guys are going to be big. So I'm going to answer your question, Dave, before I get off topic here. It's Lindor.
Very good. All right. You convinced me. I'm disappointed in Lindor more than Volpe. Thank you. All right. Let's bring your energy back up a little bit, V. I know you always hate waiting a week to do this, but it's your time to shine. It's time for the hot stove. What you got prepared for us today?
Oh, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Vuitton's Hot Stove. Usually, we put a player on here who's on fire, who's pitching well, who's hitting bombs, who's all over Nobody in New York's doing that right now. Nobody. So on this edition, I have 2 hot takes. One for the Yanks, one for the Mets. Some people may disagree, may agree. You may be able to tell how much of a Mets fan I am here. For the Mets, I think a couple things got to fall in the right places. But I think Francisco Alvarez will start in the NL All-Star Game this year. You heard it here first on the Bronx Queens Bros podcast. I think he's a very, very good shot to make the team. I think he will start the game, and I think he probably will be the youngest catcher to start an All-Star game since Pudge Rodriguez. So that would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, trying to think. JT, Realmuto, I know the Philly fans, they vote pretty excessively.
Like I said, a couple things might have to fall the right place. They might. Maybe an injury, maybe a player can't play, and he just gets thrown in that. I think he's going to get it, though. And then I got one for the Yanks here, Jack.
Sure.
You touched upon it, so I don't even think it's a hot take anymore. You guys kind of ruined it for me. Anthony Volpe will get sent down after the Subway Series. Thursday's another off day, I believe, for the Yanks, and I believe he will get sent down. That's just my last
Yeah, and I don't think it's like a sent down where it's like the sky is falling. I think it's more of like,
clear his head.
Let's clear your head. Let's fix up maybe some mechanical things. He's even struggled a little bit in the field. It seems like, pressure's getting to him a bit. Take a couple weeks, just relax, and he'll be back. He's going to be the future of the position.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a matter of, I don't know about shortstop, but definitely somewhere in the middle infield. It's just a matter of, when he'll be right. So I think only time will tell. V, I do have a hot take, though, for you.
Oh, okay.
I do have a hot take. I wanted to bring this to you. So I think if the Yankees embarrass the Mets in these two games, let's say they win both pretty handily, the 5 runs plus, I think Buck gets fired. I think Cohen does not want to be embarrassed by the Yankees. He thinks it's a terrible look. This team has been struggling really bad. I think there's now like 4 or 5 teams ahead of them in the wild card. If I'm not mistaken, they're, I think, 4 games out.
Yeah, they're
of the second wild card. I think if they get handled by the Yanks without Aaron Judge, I think Buck goes.
I got a question for you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If Epler doesn't make any good trade line acquisition, does he get fired by the end of the year? Or maybe at the season's end. Or like September if they're out of contention. Do you think Epler gets another shot at this?
No. I think it'd be after the season if he would be fired. Okay. I think if they don't make the playoffs, they're both gonna go. Regardless,
do you
I think we can both agree on that.
Do you think they'd go straight after Buck, or do they fire the hitting coach? Do they?
Well, I think it's trying to shake things up, right? It's not, and I know a lot of fans, they complain, it's not Buck's fault. Sometimes there's a move to be made just to make a move, right? You shake things up, you kind of scare some guy. If our coach can go, then this person, right? And I think, I don't know. I just think, who's the hitting coach? Eric Chavez, I believe. I don't know, because they've hit in certain games. They've hit, and now the bullpen looks bad. I think it's got to be.
Oh, I think I lied to you.
I
think I lied to you. I think Chavez is the bench coach now.
He is the bench coach. You're right.
Who the hell is the hitting coach? That's a good reason. Maybe we'll fire the hitting coach.
Maybe. I think it would. Yeah.
Clearly,
it would be Buck though. I think it would be Buck.
Okay. Hey, listen,
if they get embarrassed, right?
Okay. Hopefully not.
But yeah, that would be rough.
That would be.
Just think about it. Like Cohen, he wants to compete with the Yanks. He takes it personally. You're home. A lot of things. You're struggling. Maybe Alonso being injured will save Buck's job. That's the only thing. The caveat I would throw into that, because that's kind of like a built-in excuse.
Big injury there.
But, if the bullpen looks like a wreck again, I know that's not even Buck's fault, right? You would think you got to get somebody else in there, and I know they picked up Anthony Bass and Luke Voigt. You also signed, former Yank.
Oh my! Just talk about we're stacking up our AAA with former Yanks right now, honestly. Who else is out there? Is Didi Gregorius somewhere there? Can we get him in the infield here?
I think... Didn't he just get signed? But the Angels signed Daniel Murphy, I saw.
Murph Dog is out of retirement?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a legend that guy is. He was a player for the Old Timers Mets game.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just making that up. I thought I saw that on Twitter.
Maybe you're right. You might be right here. Might be right.
I'm pretty sure I saw.
Yeah, you are correct. Signed a minor league deal. Oh boy, huh? Go figure. Hopefully Buck doesn't lose his job, but we'll see.
Jeremy Barnes is the hitting coach, fellas. Jeremy Barnes.
Yeah, he can get fired.
Yeah,
we don't get that.
Can we bring in Barry Bonds?
Barry Bonds. And maybe Pete Rose is the assistant hitting coach.
Why not? Why not?
Griffey.
Oh, that'd be fucking fantastic.
Gosh. All right. I think that pretty safely concludes this edition of Vitan's Hot Stove. Jack, I'm going to turn it to you. It's time to jack off. What do you got for us?
Guys, there's been a lot of Yanks struggling, but none more than this guy right here. Anthony Rizzo. I cannot believe I'm saying this, guys. Anthony Rizzo is 0 for his last 25. 0 for his last 25. It's absolutely staggering. It's the worst stretch of his career. A guy that me and V have been ranting and raving about how he's having a tremendous year. He was hitting above 300 for a majority of the year. Now, V, he's all the way down to 269.
Oh, my.
I think before that, I think that's literally the stretch. It went from 302 to 269 because of this stretch. He is in one hell of a slump, and he's striking out a lot. He's making weak contact. You know, Boone does all the coach speak and always says that, he's hitting well in the cages and in BP. He's doing really well in BP. We just got to wait for it to translate. But, you know, it's another guy that Cashman paid that, you know, is on the older side. He's a little bit injury prone at this point. And, you know, I don't want to do that whole thing where every time the Yankees struggle, I start blaming Cashman, and every time they start doing well, I just credit the players. But, you know, I think, you know, maybe Rizzo can get a little bit of this blame as well and be better. You're getting paid a good amount of money. You got to be better. And you got to put the ball in play. Come on.
I cannot agree more. He's definitely the jack-off of the week. I mean, like, when you go over 25, I mean, you got to be a jack-off. I mean, that's tough. You're getting paid $20 million a year. I could go do that. Yanks want to pay me $20 million. I'll go over 25 for you guys. No, he can't do that. You got to perform.
Not even Daniel Vogelback went over 25.
That should tell you something right there. Maybe the Yankees are going to trade for Vogelback.
No.
Danny Burgers with the short porch might become a fucking 40-power guy. Nah, he would take every strike anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, well, I think that safely wraps up the jack-off. Anthony Rizzo, once Hot Stove member, turned jack-off. You hate to see it. But, hey, hopefully at some point he'll get back on the Hot Stove. Hopefully soon for us Yankee fans, Jack. Yes. We now have I feel like every episode I say we have a special edition of Big D's Big Odds. But this episode is no exception. It's very special. Subway Series edition of Big D's Big Odds. Fellas, I'm doing something really exciting. I have 11 lines planned for you guys. So you are going to battle between 11 choices, and I'm going to do something real special for the fans. I'm going to post all these polls on Twitter, at BQB Podcast. Please go follow and play along, because if you can send me proof that you parlayed every single pick, I have an extra one of the shirt that V is wearing right there. V? Bring it to the camera's attention. It's a beautiful shirt. It's got our logo on it. If you can send me proof that, 1, you parlayed all of my picks and got them all correct, and 2, you are following us on Twitter, I will send you a shirt. All right? Not the one V's wearing. I'll make sure it is clean. But with that being said...
Unless
they're into that. Whatever you want.
We may have to let them pay for the shirt then.
We can. We're not giving that
Can't
away
do
for
this
free. I
for
mean,
free.
come on. Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this off, fellas. I'm excited for you. First couple, we got some actual lines. The rest are kind of more just specialized to this upcoming Subway Series. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and stick with my theme of the day, which seems to be struggling New York shortstops. We're going to talk about Anthony Volpe. Jack already brought out so many of his stats. So I'm going to go over under Anthony Volpe hits in this upcoming 2-game series, which, fellas, we haven't even talked about. We're only getting a 2-game series. We'll save that rant.
Tuesday and a Wednesday.
We'll save that rant maybe for the end. But remember, all these lines are just 2 games. So I'm going to set an over-under line on Volpe hits at 0.5.
Oh, my God.
Big V, you go first.
Yeah. I recall the rules here.
Still going to remind you every time.
I appreciate that, though. I'll forget eventually.
I know. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, 0.5. I'm going to take the under.
All right, Dave, I'm rolling with the over. I'm thinking, like, infield hit, there's got to be something. I mean,
he's got to
the
get
kid
one,
is
right,
ice
Jack?
cold. Yeah, he's got to get one. Come on.
I'm trusting the 2 starting pitchers the Mets are giving out today.
Yeah, so who you guys got? You got Scherzer and Verlander, right, for the series?
Yep.
And then Yanks
Big
got
time.
Severino and Cole?
That Wednesday's game's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's a great matchup for the ages. All right, let's move right along. Lindor, not playing too well. He has 11 strikeouts in the month of June, and we are 12 days into it. And the Yankees pitching staff, Jack, they are tied they have the 8th most in total strikeouts, so fair to assume Lindor might go down a couple. So I'm going to set an over-under line Lindor strikeouts for the series at 1.5.
Oh, this is an easy over. Lindor strikes out a lot. I think he is a home run candidate, though, from the left side of the plate at some time in this series. I know Garrett Cole has been giving up the home run a lot, so maybe in that game I'll bet a little cheeky Lindor home run. But I think he definitely goes down more than...
cheeky home run. He's not playing at Yankee Stadium. They're going to be legit home runs.
All right, but still, Garrett Cole, okay, down the line, off the pole, something. Garrett's been giving up the home run.
Yeah, that's a big problem. But I'm going to take the over here as well. Lindor strikes out a lot. I love you,
Very
Lindy,
good.
but you got to not strike out. I hope I lose this one.
Very good. Jack, you mentioned Rizzo's slumps. The slump that he's currently in. So I'm going to set an over-under on at-bats for Rizzo to record his next hit at, let's do 2.5. So, V, you go first.
So pretty much if he has to get a hit in his first 2.5 at-bats, that's the line.
First 2, if you want to go under, yeah. Gotta think with an off day, just gotta figure it out.
A walk, obviously, not counting as an at-bat.
So if I hit the over, that'd be in 3 at-bats or more.
Just like he said.
Okay, so the sirens are just telling me to not take the under on this. So I'll take the over.
Go over, all right.
On the contrary, the sirens are telling me not to take the over, to take the under, so that's what I'm going to do.
And the sirens are telling me I need to move. All right. Moving right along. Kind of some quicker, more simpler ones for you guys. I didn't want to make it too much since I'm throwing 11 at you. But the next one is a simple one. We talked about the pitching matchup in Wednesday's game. My question to you guys is who will have more strikeouts, Garrett Cole or Justin Verlander?
Easy. Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
I'm gonna go with you here, Jack. I love my Verlander here, but it's Garrett. Garrett strikes out the world. So
Okay. Fellas, next line. Which team will have more home runs this series?
Man, 2 strong on offenses.
And you can add a complimentary third choice of neither. So that that would indicate a tie.
Big time Tommy's going deep. Give me the Mets.
I'll take the Mets too. I just don't know who's homering for the Yanks. Maybe Stan. I know the last time the Mets and Yanks had that classic series a couple of years ago.
That was great. I was at that game when Lindor hit the 3 home runs. That was great.
Yeah, that was a great game. So maybe Stanton can channel some of that game and get his revenge. But I don't know who else, so I'm going with the Mets.
All right. Guys, which team will have more stolen bases?
All right, I'm going to roll with the Yanks here. Maybe this Volpe infield single will turn into maybe a runner on third, so that's what I'm thinking. Besides that, I don't know, Billy McKinney, or maybe he could steal some bags, or I don't even know. Glaber, he's been throwing out the most out of any base runner, so it doesn't seem like he's stealing anymore. I'm just going to roll with the Yanks.
I'm going to take the Mets because of Marte. Marte's heating up a little bit, and he's been running. He's I think, got already 18 on the year, so take Marte. Take the Mets. Take the Mets.
Marte more than the whole Yankees team?
No, just the Mets.
Just the Mets, okay. All right. All right, next one. Which team will commit more defensive errors?
I don't know. I think the error is where you live, Dave. But, shoot. I'm going to go with the Yankees.
I'm going to go with the Mets.
Fair enough.
Do we care to explain why we chose our choices?
I'm going with Volpe and Glaber to make more errors.
If I had to pick, I don't know. Maybe Vientos at first. Maybe
They're not even playing him. They're playing Cannon mostly.
Maybe a little Brett Beatty throwing error. I don't know. Pass ball.
Cole can't throw to first base.
All right.
Very good, very good. All right, moving right along. We got 4 more. Which team will give up more runs? So which team will give up more runs, not score more runs? Could have easily asked that.
Yeah, you want to complicate things here. So I think the Yankees will give up more runs.
So the Yankees will score more runs?
No. Silly.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Mets.
Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie.
Very good. Easy enough. Fellas, which team will score the first run?
Ooh, that's a fun line. You go first.
I'm going to go with the Yankees. Maybe a little Willie Calhoun leadoff homer for the boys.
Yeah, definitely not a leadoff home run, but the Yankees will score first. The Mets have left so many first-inning runs.
All right. Well, Jack, maybe I already know your answer, but which team will hit the first home run?
The Yanks.
So the Yankees are going to hit the first home run, but the Mets are going to hit more?
Could happen.
So Jackson.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yes. Don't question me.
I'm going to question you all I want. I can do whatever I want. I'm big.
What hat you going to be wearing on Thursday?
Ooh.
That's all I want to know.
We'll find out. Don't worry about it. Mets are going to hit the first home run. Who are we kidding?
All right, and my last line for you guys. Again, you have a complimentary third choice of neither. But I'm going to ask, which team will win more games?
I'm rolling with neither. I think it's going to be a split. A mid-off, as they say.
I'm going to take the Mets.
Jack, would you like to change your answer? To maybe the Yankees to just make this more fun?
All right. Fine.
Great, now I gotta cross this off. I gotta write the Yankees.
The Yankees is too many letters. I started just writing Y and M.
I write Yanks.
Yanks. That's not bad. That's a nice compromise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that wraps up this edition. Again, if you are listening, play along on Twitter, because if you get them all right and you follow us, it's possible I send you a shirt. So go ahead, check us out. Real quick, fellas, 2 games against each other on a Tuesday and Wednesday. How do we feel about that?
You go first, Jack?
Yeah. I have a lot of issues with how Major League Baseball makes their schedule. I did touch on it a bit on Memorial Day, as it was Monday, Memorial Day, the actual day, not the weekend. And the Yankees were not on at all. And the Mets, I believe, Mets were off as well.
Yep.
To me, that is terrible. A day where you know everyone's going to be either home, barbecuing, no one has work. Why not have 2 teams that are probably up there in ratings, probably both top 5 in ratings and attendance, have them playing, even if they're on the road, who cares? Just have them on TV for people to watch. I don't understand. And then I don't understand how the number 1 and number 2 teams in payroll, the number 1 and 2 teams in ratings, are now playing games on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. I mean, it's only a 2-game series. There's just so many problems. And Major League Baseball seemed to put a foot in their mouth when it comes to growing the game. They always talk about growing the game, letting the kids play, but they don't promote it very well. They really just don't. They make decisions like this, and maybe they're trying to avoid the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup. I don't know. Whatever they're trying to do, who knows? Maybe this is just how it worked out. It's just how it worked out. But whatever.
My biggest problem here, Jack, is in 2021, they nailed the Subway Series. The scheduling. They had it, I think, the one during September, like that September 11th weekend. Mm-hmm. Those 3 games were awesome. Those were all great games. Those were on Fox, ESPN, and I think one was just a regular, Mets and Yankees broadcast. That's prime time television. Those are big games. That's where these guys need to play. It's the Mets and Yankees, 2 New York teams. How are they not playing on weekends? How is it a 2-game series on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night? Like, we won't be able to watch Wednesday night's game when you have a future Hall of Famer and potentially another future Hall of Famer, if everything goes right for Garrett Cole, facing off on the Mets and Yankees game on a fucking Wednesday night. Like, what is Major League Baseball doing? Like, that blows my mind. That blows my mind that that's happening. I don't care what they did to make the scheduling. They made the schedule so every team could face each other, and they still made it so the Mets and Yankees face only 4 times, 2-game series and 2-game series at each stadium. And on top of that, it's both of the times on a Tuesday and Wednesday. They faced at Yankee Stadium in July on a Tuesday and Wednesday. It's just atrocious. I just don't understand it. Just don't understand it.
Yeah, you and I were talking about it last night, actually, V, and kind of to your point, you just made, Jack, like, MLB has made so many, like, rule changes and things to try and improve viewership and all this stuff. And then we have a Subway Series being on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. We have what V and I were talking about is kind of underwhelming opening day matchups. You had the Yankees playing the Giants. You had the Mets playing the Marlins. Especially with the anticipation that this season had, and you're going to march out there with Yankees-Giants. Like, the schedule...
One more thing,
yeah, go ahead.
to add. This was the first time the Yankees and Red Sox have played this year.
Yeah, and we're in June.
It's crazy.
And we're in June.
It's crazy.
Like, this just seems a bit weird to me. But
yeah, and then they have the 2-game break against the Mets, and then they go right back to playing the Red Sox, and I don't know. It's an exciting week, with the rivalries for Yankees fans, but I feel like they just could have done it so much better, and I think pretty much everyone in New York agrees, and not a good look for MLB. But I want to turn it to you. We have a couple more minutes, fellas. Usually I ask you about the upcoming series. Since we're all talking about the same series, what are your guys' what are you looking for? Expectations, concerns, predictions? V, you're shrugging your head, so I'm naturally going to go to you first. What's going on in your mind?
That's an excellent question here, Dave. I'm expecting for Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander to pitch like they're getting paid. And I'm expecting the offense to just perform decent. And I would love to sweep this series against the Yankees, mainly because I get to talk shit to you guys then. But there's only so much shit talk I can do, because even if we do, we're still not over 500. But nonetheless, I would like to have that ability. And they need to win. They need to win. It's just that simple. I mean, I guess I'll take a split, better than getting swept. But they gotta win. They gotta have good baseball games. Even if they end up losing a game, if they're playing good ball, I'll almost be content with it. So that's what I'm looking for. I need to see a well-rounded baseball team, because it's not it right now.
What I'm looking for, V and Dave, is some runs. We need to score some runs. The bats need to wake up. Aaron Judge is not going to save you. I need some hard hit balls, and I know it's a tough time to do that going against some of the best pitchers in the game. They have been struggling a little bit, so maybe that's some cause for some promise for the Yanks side. And yeah, we gotta get DJ going. We gotta get Rizzo going. Hopefully Volpe. Yeah, that's really all I got. It just seems like everyone's slumping at the same time, which always seems to happen with Aaron Judge in the lineup. Super unfortunate, but hoping something can change.
Yeah, definitely an exciting time. Fellas, we did this whole Yankee Mets podcast going into the season, and we made it. We are 7 episodes in?
27.
27 episodes in. We made it to the first Subway Series. And, it's very exciting. It's very very surreal to kind of sit back and think that we've committed to doing this, and we get to watch this together and talk about it together, and it's a very exciting time. So I hope that you guys can both find some happiness from this series, but I know one of you is going to be a bit happier than the other next episode. I think an ideal circumstance for me is whichever team in real life wins the series, that person loses Big D's Big Odds, so that they still have to wear the hat of the opposing team. I think that would be great. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to let everyone go. This episode is going to be airing the day the Subway Series begins, so everyone catch the game. I believe it's at 7 o'clock the first night. 7 o'clock both nights. So, yeah, very exciting times. But, V, they can find us on Instagram, can they not?
They certainly can. And they can find us at BQB Podcast. Like, comment, let me know how I'm doing. I'm trying to just pump out reels. DM me. I'll try my best to DM me back. Come on.
Yes. Come on, slide in his DMs. And, Jack, we are on TikTok, are we not?
TikTok, BQB Podcast. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the YouTube. Tell a friend. Send a link. Look out for your BQB boys. And let's go.
Heck yeah. And of course, as I already mentioned this episode, please follow on Twitter. Start playing along to Big D's Big Odds. I would love to know, what the fans think about all these lines. So give us a follow at BQB Podcast. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Google, and a couple other things here and there. If you like us, go on a Subway and tell someone, because it is the Subway Series. So tell a stranger, listen to the Bronx Queens Bros podcast. We give you...
Just scream it out loud.
Yeah, just get a megaphone. It's New York. No one will judge you. We are everything New York baseball. And with that being said, it was a great episode, fellas. I will see you on the flip side of the Subway Series.